What's up everyone, welcome back to Just Finished Coding. This is part 4 of our Dodge the Block series on Scratch 3, so let's get coding.
Just finished coding.
Now quick interjection here, if you've not watched parts 1 to 3, please watch them before you come here because we're picking up from where we left off and you'll be very lost. I'll leave a card for you right here. Please watch the videos and then come right back. If you're still here, I'm going to assume that you've watched parts 1 to 3, in which case you should have your blocks moving in already and you should have your paddle collision set up as well, but you don't have the scoring system set up, so in this video we'll be fixing that up completely. Let's get right into it. I'm going to start off by going to the paddle, and here it's important to set up a new variable. And this variable is going to be called, I believe, current score. Now you can set it for all sprites and you can call it current score. I'm just going to spell that out. Alright, there we go, and click OK. And okay, I created it already and I think I never used it till now, so yeah, that's fine. So within my paddle, I'm going to set up a when I receive start game once again, and keep in mind that we already have one of those here, but we need a paddle script in order to make this work. When I receive start game, here we're going to repeat until, and we can actually just duplicate this block here and remove all the code from inside, and as a result this would just be way easier than grabbing that block and putting it. So repeat until game over is yes, and each and every time the score changes I want to play a sound, and this is easier said than done. So how exactly do we change the score by 1 and play a sound effect along with that? That's the big question. So now if you head over to the blocks and let's just say right before you deleted this clone you played a sound. The problem with that would be 3 of your blocks are going to delete at once, and as a result if you have this within a when I start is a clone script, you'd have a sound playing for each and every clone. And this is going to result in 3 different sound effects, which is definitely not going to be what we want. And to do this, you need to come up with a slightly ingenious way to go about the system, and that is to change the score by 1 by 3 here, right after we are right at the bottom. So change score by 1 by 3. So you can head over to operators, grab a divided by and put it right there. And if you do this, Scratch by default is going to convert this into a decimal. So it's going to get converted to 0.3333333, and I don't know what the decimal precision is for Scratch, but it's pretty long, okay? So you're going to have a long decimal here, and since you have 3 different clones, that's going to become 0.9999999, and if I said 3.33, I forgive myself, I meant 0.33, okay? So here we are going to have something that has an extremely long list of 9s, which is not going to be rounded off. And if you want to change that, you need to by default do it here. And if you don't do this, I highly recommend you try it out. But if you don't do that, then you'd start to face some weird bugs which you won't understand, because eventually Scratch is going to stop rounding off your score after just one try and you'll be kind of stuck. So here I'm going to say set score to be, and I'm just going to say round score. So you can head over to the operators tab, grab this round and just put in the score variable right there. And if you do it after the effects are set, it's going to make sure that the score is already done. I don't expect Scratch to be that slow even for different clones. So this is going to work out pretty well, and you should be changing score by 1 eventually. Even though we'll be repeating this 3 times, it's not going to make a difference. So once you have this in place, now what you can do is to head over to the paddle, and here when within this repeat until game over is yes, you can add an additional if then, okay? And if you recall, current score was equal to 0 and score was also equal to 0, and I think I actually didn't set that up right here, so it's very important you do that here as well. So set score to be 0, and I thought I did it, but anyway, so set score to 0. That's fine. So current score and score are going to be the same if the block hasn't touched the ground. So here we can say if not or rather we can just say equal to. Okay, so if current score is equal to, where's that? Yeah, if current score is equal to, or rather if score is equal to current score plus 1, and this means that the score has changed by 1 while the current score has not. In this case, now we know that the score has actually incremented, and as a result we know that this is the time to play the sound effect. Now before we do that, it's very important to set the current score back to the score. If we don't do this, the sound is going to play on again and again and again, and that's not what we want. So set current score to score first, and now we can play the sound. And to get the sound, you can head over to the sounds tab. You can close that, and the sound is in the library itself, so you can just click on that once again. And the sound we want is called coin, and you can just click that sound right there. I'm not going to be playing it, but you could choose a different sound if you want. I think that sounded pretty nice the first time I tried this out, so I'm going to go ahead with that. And instead of play sound until done, you can just say start sound coin, and this should work pretty neatly. So if you have this in place, your score should be incrementing by 1 each time, and you would also have the sound effect played. There's only one small problem, and this is going to happen only if the player somehow miraculously survives to an extremely large score, which is I don't think it's ever even possible, just as a result of the weight lag we are reducing each and every frame. But what that is going to result in is we're going to have multiple blocks that are on the screen, and when one actually comes down, we round off the score while the score is changing, and that may result in the score becoming something 0.333. But that's extremely unlikely, and it's probably never going to happen, so I'm going to leave it right there. Just keep in mind that this is the only possible bug that could come up if we have the score set up this way, but since it's never going to happen practically, I'm going to leave it as it is. And that's it, we'll be coding in this video. In the next video, I'll be finishing up everything with our changing back to the thumbnail and a few additional sound effects with respect to the high score. If you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.